This muscle, this large one on the back, is gluteus maximus. Probably most people knew that coming into the class. Gluteus maximus inserts onto the iliotibial band about 80%. You can see that inserting, but it also inserts onto the greater trochanter, the femur, about 20%. Gluteus maximus is a lateral rotator of the thigh. It is also a very powerful extensor of the thigh. If you don't believe me on that one, walk up about 6 flights of stairs and you will feel it. Gluteus maximus is innervated by the inferior gluteal nerve. Deep to gluteus maximus, we have gluteus medius. Gluteus medius is a medial rotator of the thigh. It also helps to abduct the thigh. And gluteus medius helps to stabilize the pelvis when the opposite leg is lifted. So if I lift my right leg, I'm going to contract my left gluteus medius. Gluteus medius and the muscle which is deep to this, which we do not see on the model, gluteus minimus, these two are both innervated by the superior gluteal nerve. If I turn this model around just a little bit, I see this muscle here. This is tensor fascia lata. Tensor fascia lata is Latin for the muscle that tenses the fascia on the lateral side of the leg. Tensor fascia lata. This one, like gluteus and medius minimus, is also innervated by the superior gluteal nerve. So tensor fascia lata is going to medially rotate and abduct the thigh, but what it also does is it helps to stabilize the knee in patellar tracking. So there are two structures that are going to help stabilize this knee, and one of them is the tensor fascia lata. While we're over on this side, this coming down the side is your iliotibial band, also called the IT band. It's called the iliotibial band. I like the whole name because it starts from the ilium and goes down to the tibia. This is the fascia that is tensed by tensor fascia lata. Let's go back to our gluteal region. Remember I said gluteus maximus was a lateral rotator, whereas medius minimus and tensor fascia lata were medial rotators. All of our lesser gluteals in here are also lateral rotators, so think of it as an action sandwich. We have lateral rotation, medial rotation, and now we're back to lateral rotation. This pear-shaped muscle is a landmark muscle. This is piriformis. Piriformis goes through the greater sciatic foramen. Then we have 3 muscles in a row. These 3 muscles collectively are called the triceps coxae. Triceps being 3-headed muscle, coxae being hip. On the cadaver, you'll see these 2 muscles very clearly, but the one in the middle, you will more often see only as a tendon. Do you remember on the pelvic model I showed you the tendon of obturator internus? This muscle in the middle is really going to be the tendon of obturator internus. Superior to that, you have superior gemellus. Inferior to that, you have inferior gemellus. The word gemellus comes from the same root word as Gemini, meaning twin. So these are like twin brothers that surround your obturator internus tendon. Then down here we have a square muscle over the femur. A good name for a square muscle over the femur, quadratus femoris. Okay? So all of these muscles, piriformis, superior gemellus, obturator internus tendon, inferior gemellus, and quadratus femoris, all insert onto the greater trochanter of the femur, and they are all lateral rotators of the thigh. Earlier I mentioned that piriformis goes through the greater sciatic foramen. I'd like to point out a couple of other structures. Superior to piriformis, we have our superior gluteal artery. So we actually have a bundle of structures, which you can see very well on the cadaver. You don't see them as well on the model. But you have your superior gluteal vein, artery, and nerve exiting the greater sciatic foramen just superior to piriformis. And remember, these are the ones that supply gluteus medius, minimus, and tensor fascia lata. Inferior to the piriformis coming through the greater sciatic foramen, would be our inferior gluteal bundle, vein, artery, and nerve. The inferior gluteal is what is going to supply gluteus maximus. Then we have this giant nerve coming out. This is going to be sciatic. Sciatic is the single largest nerve in the body. This is formed from the ventral roots of L4, 5, S1, 2, and 3. And it is going to divide into common fibular and tibial nerves, which innervate all of the structures on the back of the leg. And we'll take a look at that later in other videos. So that is our gluteal region in a nutshell.